Welcome to another episode of Cut Content, and this week I thought it would be a fantastic idea to go check out some of the fan-favorite SpongeBob video games, including Battle for Bikini Bottom, Revenge of the Flying Dutchman, and the SpongeBob movie game. So let's dive deep into the ocean below and see what our good friend SpongeBob is hiding from us in some of his most fantastic adventures. Starting off, let's talk about Revenge of the Flying Dutchman, which includes a ton of unused dialogue never used in the game. First, the French narrator was supposed to have a much larger role in the game, having a few intro lines in the game.
All is quiet as a new day dawns in Bikini Bottom. Its inhabitants awaken to the gentle tidings of nature. But for one little sponge, this will be no ordinary day, for adventure and danger await him just beyond his bedroom door.
Talking to SpongeBob about the costume change tent.
What a cute little tent! I didn't know people could camp around here.
That tent is not for camping. It is for changing clothes. Once you have a new costume, you can go inside the tent to change.
Patrick's rock garden.
Patrick sure is getting sloppy. Just look at how messy his rock garden has become.
Perhaps you can help your friend clean up. Use your reef blower to roll the stones back to the correct positions.
When walking up to the construction site and high-rise if it was still locked.
I wonder where this street goes.
That must be the way to the construction site. Perhaps you can go there when you have a good enough reason. That leads to the high-rise apartments. It is private property, so you cannot enter without a good reason.
When unlocking the Mermaid Man costume.
Mermaid Man! To action!
Now you can create as many water balls as you desire. You can throw these at enemies or use them to extinguish fires or to knock down containers and smash them open. Use the whirlpool attack to hit targets in all directions.
And when SpongeBob discovers his hypnotized friends.
There are your friends. Now get them into one of the lifeboats over the side of the ship. Hurry!
Gary! Squidward! Mr. Krabs! Sandy! Patrick! You're all here! Come on, we gotta go before the Dutchman returns. I'm serious! Those chores can wait until later! We need to make like a riptide and head out to sea! So just jump over the side and we can all get away in my flying dinghy! Hello?
Quickly, you must get closer to each friend and snap them out of it before the Dutchman returns.
Yeah, that was a lot of French cut from the game, and maybe it was for the best because this voice actor kind of sounds very, sexual at times. There are also a few more lines removed from the game, including SpongeBob talking about his water helmet, which is never used in the game.
This is no time to dilly-dally in front of the helmet!
Two construction workers talking who were probably cut because they had very, very bad voice acting.
Bring that food over and sit it down.
Hey, is that my food? Drop it off up here.
Something about a magic bottle vending machine. I really have no clue what this one's talking about.
I need a magic bottle vending machine that I saw in a book. Don't ask me why, it's a long story. How much will that magic bottle vending machine cost?
A line for when SpongeBob enters the Dutchman's ship.
Well, there's no turning back now. All I have to do is get on the Dutchman's ship.
A few lines of dialogue for when you would have fought the Dutchman, and hints that you would have saved your friends until after you beat him.
Poor little SpongeBob. Seems like your friends want to stay here after all.
There's no way they'd want to stay with you. You've got them under some kind of spell, Dutchman.
Hey, go easy on me. I'm not the ghost I used to be, but who is? As for your friends, they will remain under my spell for so long as it takes to restore my ship to her former glory.
Well, you're not the only one packing magic on this voyage. After I use this magic bottle to knock some sense into my friends, I'm gonna squeeze you in it for a long, comfortable stay.
You're going to use that fancy little bottle to break my spell over your friends, then use it to defeat me? You don't stand a chance, SquarePants!
And a very out-of-character line for Squidward.
Now that's a great idea!
Moving forward though, the Bikini Bottom puzzle level has a few items out of bounds that you would have never seen, including a giant Squidward walking from one side to the other, and a picture of Conch Street. There is also an early version of the loading screen, title screen, and copyright screen that were later changed in the final version of the game. SpongeBob's TV also exists inside his house, but by normal means can never be seen since the camera can't be controlled to look at that side of the room. There was also going to be a Game Boy Advance link cable part for the GameCube version of the game that would have had you enter a jellyfish rodeo tent and a minigame would start. You would also be able to use the Game Boy Advance to find the Dutchman's treasure if you didn't have a Game Boy pack inside your Game Boy. And now it is time for the main attraction, a game that many of you may have grown up loving, Battle for Bikini Bottom, a fantastic platformer for the time, especially for a TV show game, because they're usually very bad. Starting off, we have a few unused levels that include Screaming for Ice Cream, which was a dream world for Patrick that never got used and was replaced with Patrick in a dark room, just giving you a spatula. I personally think this would have been a cooler idea, but the final concept does fit Patrick's personality really well, so I'm not complaining. The more interesting level though is an alternate phase for the final boss fight that has Robo SpongeBob have muscle arms on. This fight is only playable through some hacking and is impossible to beat due to the fact that popping his arms will do nothing else for the fight. There are also some models for weights and dumbbells for the fight that never get used, alongside a spawn point for some citizens and Robo Plankton that never get triggered during the fight. It's an awesome boss idea, and I still remember the day this information was leaked to all of us. It was a big thing for a lot of us Battle for Bikini Bottom fans at the time, and I would love to see it implemented into a HD version re-release of these games, but we know that will probably never happen. There are also a few inaccessible rooms in the Krusty Krab behind each door, one being Mr. Krabs' room, one being the washroom, and the last being the kitchen that SpongeBob works in that is fully decorated. We also have a group of older icons that were later replaced in the final game that include underwear, golden spatulas, shiny objects, a doodle bob, a Krabby Patty, bubble icon, on and off pineapples for the menu, 2 different text boxes, and the secret credits for the SpongeBall Arena. The Smelly Sundae was also supposed to be in the game and used as a power-up. Editing the code can put it back into the game, and it makes it so you leave a trail of stench behind you, but you can also run fast and break stone tikis with regular attacks. Mr. Krabs Pet Worm was also supposed to be in the game, but left out for unknown reasons, but still has some walking animations that can be seen. There are also early versions of the Flying and Thunder Tiki box and a beach fish that never gets used, plus a shiny donation box, Squidward's clarinet that he was supposed to hold at some point, Gary's sign instead of a hint sign, and a soccer ball instead of a watermelon, buttons that say push instead of having a hand on them, early versions of this shiny object, an exit sign for Sand Mountain, and an early toll gate. There are also unused walking animations for Squidward, Miss Puff, Gary, Mr. Krabs, Bubble Buddy, Larry, Mermaid Man, Barnacle Boy, Plankton, and Patrick. The bosses also have unused idle animations for Robo Patrick, Robo SpongeBob, and Robo Muscle Bob. And last is the SpongeBob movie game, and there is not much cut from this game, but I decided to talk about it because if I didn't, someone would probably get pissed at me and I would have to deal with multiple comments in the comment section. So, let's just quickly cover it. So, there is this unused temporary platform and a glitchy, goofy goober costume that was never used for SpongeBob and Patrick. Yeah, that's it. Like I said, not much, but I decided I should probably cover it. But you know, the cut content just from Battle for Bikini Bottom is enough to sustain me, and I hope you enjoyed all of the new information you learned. So don't forget to subscribe for more cut content and awesome videos, and don't forget to share the video around because knowledge is power. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. I just have to give a quick shout out to my Patreon supporters, because without these guys, I would not be where I am right now. So a huge thank you to Rob LaLiberty, Brad Moore, Andre Drulard, Thomas Bethel, Robert Velasco, and the YouTuber Legend Gary.